West Side Story. One of my favorite movies. I mean, come on, it was in the 60s. It was one of the first movies that I could remember, and I haven't been around that long. Junito Perez is older than me, darling. But my exposure to West Side Story has been like a good story about the Puerto Ricans and the whole my immigration thing that was happening in the 60s, the 50s, the 60s. It was the Puerto Ricans and the Cubans that were coming in at that time, darling, and just encountering all the differences with, the white kids that just weren't like having us. You know what I'm saying? And it happens with a lot of different immigrant communities. New immigrant community comes in, and the ones that are here feel there's just not enough room for those Puerto Ricans, honey. So I've always loved the West Side Story and the dancing. It's just the greatest. The music, it's just fabulous, honey. So last year, actually, West Side Story came out on Broadway, and I wanted to see it. Junito Perez and I wanted to see it, and we just never got around to it. So we got to see it, honey, early January, late December, early January, honey. Junito Perez, honey, took me to see West Side Story. So this is a review on West Side Story, the play, the Broadway play. Now, I've got the DVD of West Side Story, of course, the movie. Okay, so, Natalie Wood was Maria, honey. And that child, honey, Russ Tamblyn. I hope I got that right, honey. You could dog me later. But the child that played Tony, honey, I should have done my research. This was just an on-fly, commentary on the play. Let's just keep it simple. The child that played Tony in the movie was a hunk, darling. That child was a hunk. And I know he was in another movie which didn't do so well for him. But honey, I'm ready to just get up right now and check, Google him right now. But anyway, the child that played Tony in the movie was fierce. Natalie Wood, fierce. Rita Moreno, fierce. All of them. The dancing, the people, fabulous. The movie was fabulous. The play. You'll play the play. I was disappointed. I was glad that I got to experience the play. The girl that played Maria looked like really young Marisa Tomei. She was cute. She sang nice. The music wasn't loud enough for me, for my experience. And they had an orchestra. And I had orchestra sheets, honey. Junito Perez and I. Honey, I was expecting like some volume. And the music wasn't happening. That's a beautiful score. All the songs are fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Junito Perez is gonna do a little singing of Maria. He loves that song. We're gonna go to him right now. Junito, can you sing that for us? Soraya, I just met a queen named Soraya, and suddenly that name will never be the same to me. Soraya, I just met a queen named Soraya, and suddenly that name, I'm repeating the phrase once again, Soraya. Say it loud and there's music playing. Say it soft and it's almost like praying. Soraya, I just met a queen named Soraya. Soraya, Soraya, oh Soraya, 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 Soraya. So, wasn't that fabulous how he sang it, honey? He sang it for me, Tony, because he loves me, honey, and I love him, child. Anyway, and the child that played Tony in that movie had nothing, no body, no face, no presence. The voice was okay. Actually, the child that played the lead gang member of the other, honey, the Jets, the Sharks, he was cuter. And he had more charisma on the stage. The dancing on the stage was okay. And I really didn't care for like the references that the Puerto Rican gang members were making. They had more of a sexual overtone, which didn't happen in the movie. And, they made the Latins a little bit more like, native, hungry, sexual beasts, kind of, that vibe. That had more of a vibe in the play than the movie. I wasn't happy about that, you know. And and there was a part in the movie, in the play also, where you know, Maria was like, I've got a secret and I'm not telling you. And they were kind of like, the girls were like pulling each other's hair kind of action. It was little like, and when I Want to Live in America, like, it was actually in the play, it was the Puerto Rican male character with the Rita Moreno character, which was, that he was a hunk too, honey. George Chakras. He was a hunk in the movie. So, when they were on the rooftop doing that, well, I love America because of this, and you love America because of that, Rita Moreno and George Chakras. And the play, it was not like that. They had some ditzy Latina. It was coming off very much like the Popa of Nueva York kind of action. I was disappointed with the play. That's all I want to say, really. I want to get to that point. I was just disappointed. I think the play was just, I'm glad I experienced it, because me and Junito Perez wanted to go, and we went. We had a fine time. We got all dressed up, all lovely, honey. We were all fierce, honey. People were just looking at us because Junito Perez looked handsome. I looked fierce as usual. But it just left a little to be desired. I just really didn't care for it. So, but I just want to say, I guess I want to end. That was my commentary on West Side Story, the play. I'm glad that I went. I wanted to support the play because, there were some parts there in Spanish that were really cool. And, it's so old school for Junito Perez. Not so much for me, but, I love the play. Like I said. I love the play, but I love the movie more. Much, much more. Junito Perez and I watch it all the time. But, speaking about, it was such a touching story, but speaking about love, let me just end by saying that Junito Perez loves me. Junito Perez adores me, does anything for me. He's just so fabulous. He's so good to me. And I want to just, all of you who are watching this, I just want you to just be mindful of love. Okay, because love is a many splendid thing, and I think to find a real stable relationship that really works is not always easy. And when you meet that someone, if you guys can kick it, stay in it. Work whatever the complexities that, because there's always going to be a complexity. There's always going to be a challenge in a relationship. Look at West Side Story at the end there, what happened. Look what they had to go through. You know what I mean? And, so, my message to myself, and if you want to take it, is that when I love, I want to be able to love more unconditionally. You know what I mean? So when you meet that special someone, and if you can try to make it work, I feel as long as they don't cheat on you, honey, and they don't run your bank account, and they don't misuse your things and your money, and they don't cheat, to me, as long as someone's faithful to me, you could look like the son of Shrek, darling. It's okay, I'll still love you. You know what I mean? As long as you're good to me, and the sex is, and sex is what? Sex is good, but companionship and love and having someone by your side, it's really a beautiful, beautiful thing. You want that person to look good, and you want that when you kiss that person, when you see that person, it's fabulous. But looks fade, and we age. I don't. I'm fabulous forever. But just think about that the next time you're with somebody, that if that's a good person who's advocating for you and who really loves you, who's clean and not running the streets, not hoeing, not drugging, not stealing, has a job, and could really, provide for you, and you can provide for them equally, that's a lovely, beautiful thing, Remember, beauty's only skin deep, except for me, darling. I'm just gorgeous inside and out, and so is Junito Perez, and I adore him, and he adores me, but really. Okay, so that's it for me on West Side Story. I thought it was a cute play. The movie is slamming. Natalie Wood, oh my God, her and Gypsy. You gotta have a gimmick, honey. That movie, Gypsy. Natalie Wood is fierce, honey. That is so sad that she died so prematurely, honey. I think she was on some boat with some other actor, honey. I wanted to do my research for this little commentary on West Side Story. I didn't get to do it because it was just like, I wanted to get to camera, kind of like, I just wanted to get to camera. So here I am. And I know you all missed me. So here's a little bit for you, a little video for you to munch on. Munch and crunch, darling. And I will talk to you soon. I love you all. Bye.